Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Good day, all. Ira Epstein with your evening update, and this is your financial market update for Tuesday, the 12th of June, 2018, and we're after 5 o'clock. We're approaching 5:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We've put in new software into our studio, so we're adjusting things. If the picture quality looks a little different, you see it jumping, it's going to take us a while to adjust it. It's all brand new. You got to go through the settings. But tomorrow we have the FOMC announcement and then the press conference. Thursday morning you have the ECB. We got through the Korean summit, and the one thing I've said in my other videos is you've got to take the summit like an alphabet. It starts with the letter A. It could end with the letter Z. Getting from A to Z is not going to be an easy task, and it's not going to happen in 1 year. It's going to take time. There'll be bumps along the road. It's out of the way. The market's already focused on what the Fed and the ECB are doing, and then guess what? Right away tomorrow, we're going to turn our focus to tariffs, trade talk. Are we still looking at a June 15th date that President Trump wants to put tariffs on China? Or did that go bye-bye with the summit? What about Canada with its imposed tariffs? The EU? Is there going to be talk? What's going to go on? The one thing that you have to say is resilient is the stock market. It just refuses to break, and I am of the opinion this is the weak time for it. I have gone on record in a number of TV stations saying I think the second part of the year, after the summer, as we get further along, will be the strongest part. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong, and that's with higher interest rates coming. The economy's going. What if these tariff wars end up positive and we get a better trade balance and there are no tariffs per se? That could be the next surprise for the market. I'm not saying it's there. The Iranian deal, Iran's got a problem. When you look at the weekly area chart of closes, you're still thrusting to the upside. You haven't made a new high. We are up 8 points for the week with the open again tonight. Okay. I expected the market to be fairly quiet. I think they just saw the AT&T, was it the Fox deal? It's one of them, that the Justice Department, I think it's approving it. It could be challenged, but we'll see what goes on. But that was positive for mergers. You can see how the market's been coming up, but I want you to look at how the ranges are narrowing in. Is the market getting ready to pop again, or is that a sign that it's running out of some momentum? Got to ask yourself that. You've had a nice run with the idea of higher lows, higher highs, bullish. The market had a bullish crossover back here at the beginning of June, and it has made a run to the upside. And the resistance line, which is the upper Bollinger Band, we keep hitting and backing off of, but we have that embedded reading. And you know what I say. When the slow stochastic study does this, slow stochastics will move typically between 80 and 20. Every now and then they'll get to the point where they get over that 80 number, they're overbought, and then they start going sideways. They did it here, and they're doing it here again. To me, that's the strongest sign on a chart. It means that momentum has locked in. When the red line drops back under 80, price is often correct. Now, the trick is the market, when it goes sideways, going like it did here, just move on you like it's moving, or is it going to kick the market higher? In this case, it has kicked the market to a next level. So you've got to be it's an art in watching it. You've got to look at it and understand what it's doing, and right now this market is just saying it's bullish until it loses that reading. When you come to the NASDAQ, you have an embedded reading. I am bullish until that reading is lost. It's that simple. You have the higher lows, higher highs, resistance back up at new highs, possibly at, 72.93, support back at the 18-day average of closes. The Dow is now fighting to do what? Let's take a look. This is not a settlement because we're already into Wednesday's trade, but both numbers are over 80 for Wednesday. Both numbers closed over 80 on Tuesday. Both numbers closed over 80 on Monday, not so on Friday. So tomorrow's a very telling day by the close. Is the market going to keep the embedded reading or not? If it does, I wouldn't be surprised that the market tries to break out. But what's it got to do? At 1 o'clock, we get the FOMC announcement. And I think, I'm talking Chicago time, at 1:30, we get the press conference from Fed Chair Powell. I can't tell you how the market's going to react to that. In the Russell, small caps just running away. Why? They're not worried about tariff problems. These are basically domestic companies. That's how the trade looks at them. You've got we got the embedded reading, we got the higher lows, higher highs, running the upper Bollinger Band, still bullish. And remember, with the interest rates tomorrow, will you get a play in the financial stocks? Who knows? In the VIX, a lot of sideways action, embedded bearish reading, lower highs, lower lows, still saying stock market's okay, get the red line over 20, and it's a sign that it isn't. In the T-bonds, I was expecting neutrality going into the FOMC meeting. You don't get a line on a chart more neutral than the 18-day average of closes. It is the line in the sand. And you're basically trading right on it as we're talking. Same thing for all purposes on the 10-year note. So I'm going to say these markets are totally neutral, the bonds and the notes going into the Fed meeting. Let's come over here to the dollar index. In the dollar index, you've got the higher lows. You got up today, made a higher high, but you could not close over that 18-day average. That's all right. What's the neutral number on the chart? Right here. The dollar index is waiting to see what the Fed says, and that's what you're doing right now. In the eurocurrency, you fell back to the 18-day average, which I'd expect. Gee, we got the FOMC tomorrow, and we have the day after the European Central Bank meeting, and it could be a big meeting for the European Central Bank. A lot of talk. Is the bank going to get and tip its hand what it's going to do for the rest of the year at the June meeting or July? And it's definitely up in the air, and it's an important meeting because of that. You have an overbought market with lower highs, higher lows, a difficult call. In the British pound, this chart, and I wrote about it, I said, I don't recall seeing markets have these many outside days up and down within a 3-day period. Up day, then lower low, down day. Today didn't take that out. The market's trying to be bearish, I think, but it's stuck on that 18-day average. It's waiting to see what everything else does. A tip-off in the markets happened in the yen, as it has completely lost the premium from Italy that was built into the market in May, as the Italians, the new government, has decided they're staying with the euro currency at this point. So the money that went in has now come out of the market, and you're in a downtrend in that market. It's not the safe haven. In Bitcoin, the market got under the past 2 days the lower Bollinger Band. It is oversold. It's riding that band, and the problem is the problem is that yet another hack. The market's questioning what's going on, how safe is your money. It's supposed to be safe when you put it into these wallets. I don't know how safe it is. I just read where New York police just arrested a scam of people taking this person for a ride, didn't realize what was going on. They broke into his house. They took 1.8 million in Ethereums. It's getting dangerous, and people, all they need is your code, and that's it. You tell me what's going on in Brent and August, in the August Brent and WTI crude. They're pulling back to the 18-day average. We're now 10 days away from the next OPEC meeting. The market thinks that there might be an increase coming in production out of the Saudis, maybe Russia as well. We saw the EIA report today, and it said that the Saudis pumped an extra 35 million barrels or something a day in order to make up what's being lost from Venezuela and Iran. I don't know that that means that much. I think the market's getting neutral on that spread in front of the report, the OPEC meeting. As for the August Brent, you still have the lower highs. You're trying to get down with the lower lows, which you did do. So the trend is down until you get back up and over, this high right up here. of 77.07. You had an outside day down. If it drops further, 74.07 might be in the cards. Take out the 77.07, you're back to the 18-day average, but you negate the downtrend, and momentum is sort of flat right here. In the August WTI, it's that spread's coming together because you got to bid into our product that's coming up. I keep reading about the problem I have brought up in my newsletter, by the way, over and over. We don't have the pipeline capacity to carry the oils to the ports now. We have a real problem, and I am praying that somebody looks at the infrastructure as to what's going on. We need more pipeline. We can produce the oil. We can't get it where it's got to go. Higher lows, higher highs, momentum turning up, but you're under the 18-day average. So far, a short covering rally. Gasoline still with lower highs, lower lows. We'll see what that's going to do with the market. And as you look at the nat gas, I say this market's trying to narrow in, waiting for what? Probably the next heat wave so that it gets another piece of bull news. But I write about all this all the time in my market research. I scour so many different sites for ideas all day long. I enjoy doing that. Then I'm looking, obviously, for the trading during the day, and that's what I do. And then I put a synopsis together for my subscribers so that they see, for tonight, for example, the things to look for in the morning. Certainly, you know about the FOMC, so I prepare them with all that. Tonight, I'm presenting them with silver charts, bringing them up to date from the 16th of May through today. I want to bring them and show them what's going on with Bollinger Bands. If you've not seen what I write, I'd like to put it in your hands. For your free trial, simply call. Go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. You can click up here, or underneath us at any time, you can click there. It'll say, click here for Ira's free offers. Do so, and away you go. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day.